Guess what I get to make? I'm gonna make like a 7-foot tall, double helix DNA shaped marimba. For real. Bosch asked me to pitch them an artistic representation of the convergence of art and science. You know, like adding A for art to STEM education to make it STEAM education, which people that watch my channel know, like I'm totally on board with that. Bosch wants to enter the Art Prize competition that happens in Grand Rapids, Michigan in the fall. They asked several makers and creators to pitch them ideas, and they picked mine. The Bosch motto is invented for life, and so I kind of played with that idea a little bit, and I was thinking about things that represent art and science, and I came up with these two basic ingredients: music and DNA. I believe that art and music is as important to survival as food and water. Or as I said in my proposal pitch to Bosch, we'll do a flashback here. DNA. It's the building blocks of all life. Our scientific research and understanding of it is probably one of the greatest scientific achievements of all of mankind. But art is what makes life worth living. Some of our best understanding from early prehistoric man dates back to artwork they left behind some 40,000 years ago, where they interacted with their environment to communicate what it meant to be alive. Sure, fire and the wheel and all those other technological achievements helped them live, but it was the art that made life worth living. Now you know why I have that purple hand on my wall. So I came up with this kind of crazy idea of creating this double helix out of steel, and then all of the ladders steps that form that DNA shape would be made of wood, and then that wood would be cut and tuned to sound like marimba keys. It doesn't have to be a perfect, accurate representation of DNA, and it doesn't have to be a concert quality marimba. But my main aspiration is to make something that's beautiful, makes sound, and makes people smile. This will never work because all the problems, all the negative thoughts you have right now, I've already thought of them, I've already lost sleep over them. I'm gonna do this anyways. So check your negativity at the door, but if you have any positive advice or comments or suggestions for me, I would love to hear those. The DNA backbone we already talked about is phosphate and sugar in real DNA. So that's going to be made of steel to give it its structure and support. And then the ladders that go across are actually 4 nucleotides, and they're A, C, G, and T for short, and they connect, and that's what forms DNA. I want to use 4 different species of wood to represent the nucleotides, and also to represent like the 4 corners of the earth, like global harmony and unity and the fact. Okay, longtime viewers, let's just pause right here for a minute to discuss something. Yes, I'm getting paid to make the sculpture, and yes, I'm getting paid to make videos about making the sculpture. This is no different than most of the other videos on my channel. Like for instance, when I make a dining table, yes, I'm getting paid to make the dining table, and most of the time when I make a video about it, that's part of the proposal that I pitch to the customer. The only difference here is that I protect customers' anonymity in dining table videos. In this video, the customer wants me to say their name. Their name is Bosch. That's the only difference. No one's selling out.
He sold out. No.
However, as you all know, I'm pretty strict about using reclaimed and upcycled materials only. On this build, I'm gonna let that slide because I think that the metaphor and the message of using 4 different species of wood from the 4 corners of the earth are more important than just working locally and reclaimed. And yes, I will deservedly take flack for that, so you can go ahead and troll me all you want in the comments below.
Not reclaimed? Unsubscribe!
For North America, that's easy because I live here. So I happen to have some walnut that's like a new old stock rough sawn that was pulled out of a barn. So it's not technically reclaimed, but it's locally felled and locally sourced. And I also have a couple chunks of walnut that my neighbor cut down. I'm also working on procuring some Puerto Rican mahogany. My good friend Luis Gonzalez, whose full name is Luis Ivan Jose Victor Tomas de Aquino Gonzalez Serrales.
Prepare to die.
These mahogany trees that he sourced this wood from are from his family. They are planted as part of the coffee growing process, and then every 40 years or so they get cut down and new ones get planted. So this is all done sustainably and it's green, and I think it's the perfect solution. Now, as far as for wood to represent maybe Africa, Asia, or Europe, I'm not quite sure, you know, which. I'm still open-ended, so if anybody has any suggestions or ideas, please feel free to leave them in comments below or private message me, especially if you have a source or something reclaimed. To help me make it, Bosch is sending me a few tools. I already have a pretty full workshop. I don't need a lot of stuff. But since there's going to be a lot of table saw work, they're sending me their table saw. Now, real long-time viewers of mine may remember I used to have a Bosch table saw. It was my first table saw I ever owned, and at the time I did the research and I bought what I thought would be the best table saw for me. And it absolutely was. It was a great table saw. But when Jimmy DiResta got upgraded, he gave me his old table saw, so I gave mine away to another maker to continue paying it forward. Now I've got one coming back, and I'm looking forward to using it again. And for the metal work, they're sending me a couple of angle grinders to try out.
Wish somebody would give me free tools. I could do that if I had all those free tools.
I plan on keeping you up to date on it on social media as well as on the Reclaimed Audio podcast that I co-host with Bill and Phil.
Available on iTunes and Stitcher.
I'm probably not going to make another video about it until it's near completion, which will be at the end of the summer or the beginning of the fall. And what I'm going to do is like 2 videos. One to just sort of show the struggles and the trials and tribulations. And then the other one will be like the actual build video showing it from beginning to end, getting created. I do plan to continue making videos on YouTube on hopefully a weekly basis. Thanks for watching and for all your interaction and support. It really means a lot to me. And if you want to learn more about this and follow me on other social medias to see what's going to happen, all those links are below. There's a whole bunch of links to some of the Bosch stuff, the art contest and everything in the description on this video. So thanks again for watching very much and be good.